Hello and welcome to Curriculum Night. I'm Brianna Mondello and I am the science teacher on the 7 Red team. Here's a little bit of info about me. I attended Shrewsbury Public Schools from kindergarten through my senior year, so I can easily relate to what it's like being a student at Oak Middle School. I love animals and I have 2 dogs, Sunny and Luigi. I also love sweets and baking. I love pistachio-flavored everything, especially Boston Donuts pistachio iced coffee. When I'm not teaching science, I like to spend time with my husband and my family, including my 3-month-old niece, Lucy. So what is science like in 7th grade? Well, in science, in grades 5 through 8, we have 3 overarching science standards. The first standard is asking questions and conducting investigations to explore the natural world. We call this our investigating standard. The second is observes patterns and relationships in data to develop explanations and models. This is our sense-making standard. And third, effectively communicates scientific information and supports claims using evidence. And this last one is our critiquing and communicating standard. Throughout the year, we have several units that range from Earth's changing surface to Earth's interior, energy, genetics, which also includes natural and artificial selection, ecosystems during our 3rd trimester, and mitigating human impact on the ecosystem, where we will be doing a bioplastics project. Here you can see that our standards are even further broken down into science practices. The science practices are 8 specific skills that describe behaviors that scientists engage in as they explore the world around them. These 8 behaviors are termed practices because they are skills that also require scientific background knowledge. In the table, you can see how I have grouped the practices into the 3 standards. So student assessments will be based on the specific practices this year. For example, in Standard 1, which includes the investigating practices, students may be assessed on their observation and inference skills, following procedures and carrying out investigations, and designing experiments. Standard 2, including our sense-making practices, will assess students' understanding and analysis of data and the use of models. For example, students might be asked to use a food web to explain how energy flows from producers to higher-level consumers. The 3rd standard, which includes the critiquing and communicating practices, will assess students in writing and verbally communicating position statements, selecting evidence that best supports their statement or their claim, and explaining why the evidence supports their position. Please do not hesitate at all if you have any questions regarding grading or assessments in the science class. Here's a sneak peek at some of the action shots from one of our first labs this year. Students were asked the question, what affects the rate of weathering a rock? Then challenged to see who could reduce the mass of a rock the most in a 24-hour period. The students formed hypotheses, chose materials as their agents of weathering, and began to simulate the processes of mechanical and chemical weathering. Be sure to ask your child about their experience participating in this lab. Well, that's our science course in a nutshell. I look forward to a wonderful school year ahead. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns at all. Thank you again.